Page 225 of Trials and Witnesses. Chapter 20. When you go out to battle against your enemies and see horses and chariots and a people more than you are, you shall not be afraid of them, for the Lord your God is with you, who brought you up out of the land of Egypt. 2. And when you come near to the battle, the priest shall approach. And speak to the people. 3. And shall say to them, Hear, O Israel, you approach this day to the battle with your enemies. Let not your heart faint, fear not. Do not tremble, neither be terrified because of them. 4. For the Lord your God is he that goes with you, who brought you out of the land of Egypt. And it is he who shall fight for you with your enemies, and he shall save you. 5. Then the scribe shall speak to the people, saying, What man is there who built a new house and has not dedicated it? Let him return and go to his house, lest he die in the battle and another man dedicate it. And what man is there who has a planted vineyard and has not yet trod the grapes of it? Let him return and go to his house, lest he die in the battle and another man tread his grapes. And what man is there who has 7. What man is there who has betrothed a wife and has not taken her? Let him return to his house, lest he die in the battle and another man take her. Page 226. Conduct in war. 8. And the scribes shall speak further to the people, and they shall say, What man is there who is fearful and faint-hearted? Let him return and go to his house, lest his brethren's heart faint as well as his. 9. And when the scribes have made an end of speaking to the people, the commanders of the army shall stand at the head of the people. 10. And when you come near to a city and fight against it, then proclaim peace to it. 11. And if the city give you answer of peace, and open it to you, then all the people who are found in it shall be servants and tributaries to you, and they shall serve you. 12. But if it will not surrender to you, but will make war with you, then you shall besiege it. 13. And when the Lord your God has delivered it into your hands, you shall slay all its males with the edge of the sword. 14. But the women and the little ones and the cattle, and all is in the city, even all its spoil, you shall plunder for yourselves, and you shall eat of the spoil of your enemies, which the Lord your God gives to you. 15. You shall do to all the cities which are very far off from you, which are not of the cities of these nations. Thus you shall do to all the cities which are very far off from you. 16. But of the cities of these peoples which the Lord gives you for an inheritance, you shall save alive nothing that breathes. 17. But you shall utterly destroy them, namely the Hittites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, as the Lord your God has commanded you. 18. That they may not teach you to do after all their abominations, which they have done in worshipping their gods, so you should sin in the sight of the Lord your God. 19. When you shall besiege a city a long time, in making war against it to capture it, you shall not destroy its trees, nor wield an axe against them, because you may eat of them, and you shall not cut them down, for the trees of the field are not like men to flee from before you at the time of a siege. 20. Only the trees which you know are not trees for food you may destroy and cut down, that you may build bulwarks against that city that makes war with you until it is captured. Chapter 21. If a person is found slain in the land which the Lord your God gives you to possess, lying in the field, and it is not known who has slain him, 2. Then your elders and your judges shall come forth, and they shall measure the distance to the cities which are round about him that is slain, 3. And the elders of that city which is nearest to the slain man shall take a heifer which has never been used for work, nor pulled in a yoke, 4. And the elders of that city shall bring down the heifer to a barren valley, which has never been ploughed nor sown, and shall slaughter the heifer there in the valley. 5. And the priests, the sons of Levi, shall come near, for them the Lord your God has chosen to minister to him, and to bless in the name of the Lord, and by their word shall every lawsuit and every attack be tried. 6. And all the elders of that city which is nearest to the slain man shall wash their hands over the heifer which is slaughtered in the valley. 7. And they shall answer and say, Our hands have not shed this blood, neither have our eyes seen the victim. 8. Pardon, O Lord, thy people Israel, from whom thou hast saved, and lay not innocent blood upon thy people Israel. And the guilt of the blood shall be forgiven them. 9. So you shall put away the guilt of the innocent blood from among you, when you shall do that which is right in the sight of the eyes of the Lord, or right in the sight of the Lord. 10. When you go forth to war against your enemies, and the Lord your God delivers them into your hand, and you take them captive, page 227, various laws. 11. And see among the captives a beautiful woman, and you desire her, and would have her for yourself as a wife. 12. Then you shall bring her home to your house, and she shall shave her head and pare her nails. 13. And she'll put off the clothes of her captivity, and shall remain in your house, and mourn for her father and her mother a full month. And after that you shall go in unto her, and be a husband, and she shall be your wife. 14. And when it shall be you have no delight in her, then you shall let her go where she will, but you shall not sell her at all for money. You shall not make a harlot of her for sake of a gain, because you have humbled her. 15. If a man has two wives, one beloved and the other hated, and they have borne him children, both the beloved and the hated, and if the firstborn son he bears that is hated, to be hers that is hated. 16. Then it shall be, when he makes his sons to inherit his property, it is unlawful to make the son of the beloved wife firstborn before the son of the hated. 17. But the firstborn, the son of the hated, must receive double portion of all that he has, for he is the first of his children, and the right of the firstborn is his. 18. If a man has a stubborn and rebellious son, who will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, and who, when they have chastised him, will not hearken to them. 19. Then his father and his mother shall lay hold on him, and bring him out of the city to the elders at the gate of his place. 20. And they shall say to the elders of the city, This our son is stubborn and rebellious. He does not obey our voice. He is a glutton and a drunkard. No. 21. Then all the men of his city shall stone him with stones, that he die. So shall you put evil away from among you, and all Israel shall hear and fear. 22. And if any man has committed a sin worthy of death, and he is crucified on a tree, and thus put to death, 23, his body shall not remain all night up upon the tree, but you shall bury him the same day, for he shall revile God. For he who shall revile God shall be crucified. And you shall not defile your land, which the Lord your God gives you for an inheritance. Chapter 22. You shall not see your brother's ox or sheep go astray and disregard them, but you shall surely bring them back to your brother. 2. And if your brother is not near to you, or if you do not know him, then you shall bring it to your own house, and it shall be with you until your brother seeks after it, and you shall restore it to him again. 3. In a like manner you shall do with his ox and with his ass, so with his garment, and so shall you do with anything which is your brother has lost, and you have found. It is unlawful for you to delay in restoring it. 4. You shall not see your enemy's ass or ox fallen down by the way, and turn away your eyes from them, but you shall surely help him to lift them up again. 5. A woman shall not wear any garment that pertains to a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for whosoever does these things is an abomination in the sight of the Lord your God. 6. When you chance to find a bird's nest before you in the way in any tree or on the ground, with young ones or eggs, and the mother sitting upon the young or upon the eggs, you shall not take the mother with her young, but you shall surely let the mother go and take the young for yourself. 7. That it may be well with you and that you may live long. 8. When you build a new house, you must make a parapet for your roof, that no man shall fall from it, and bring blood upon your house. 7. You shall not sow your furrow. 9. You shall not sow your furrow with mixed seed, lest the produce of the seed which you have sown and the produce of your vineyard be seized for the sanctuary. Page 228, various laws. 10. You shall not plough with an ox and an ass together. 11. You shall not wear a garment woven of different sorts of wool and cotton together. 12. You shall not make for yourself fringes on the four corners of your cloak with which you cover yourself. 13. If any man takes a wife, and go in unto her, and then hate her, 14, and give an occasion of speech against her, charging her with adultery, and bring an evil name upon her, and say, I took this woman, and when I lay with her, I found her not a virgin. 15. Then shall the father of the damsel and the mother take and bring forth the tokens of the damsel's virginity to the elders of the city at the gate. 16. And the damsel's father shall say to the elders, I gave my daughter to this man to wife, and he hates her. 17. And lo, he has given occasion of speech against her, charging her with whoredom, saying, I found not your daughter a virgin, and yet these are the tokens of my daughter's virginity. And they shall spread the cloth before the elders of the city. 18. And the elders of that city shall take that man and chastise him. 19. And they shall fine him 100 shekels of silver, and give it to the father of the damsel, because he has brought an evil name upon a virgin daughter of Israel. And she shall be his wife, and he has no right to put her away all his days. 20. But if this thing is true, and the tokens of virginity are not found for the damsel, 21, then they shall bring out the damsel to the door of her father's house, and the men of the city shall stone. Or 21. Then they shall bring out the damsel to the door of her father's house, and the men of the city shall stone her with stones, that she die, because she has committed a shameful act in Israel, to play the whore in her father's house. And the men of the city shall stone her with stones, that she die, because she has committed a shameful act in Israel, to play the whore in her father's house. So you shall put away evil from among you. 22. If a man is found lying with another man's wife, then both of them shall surely die, the man who lay with the woman and the woman. So you shall put away evil from Israel. 23. If there is a damsel who is a virgin, and who is betrothed to a man, and another man find her in the city and lie with her, 24, then you shall bring them both out of the gate of that city, and you shall stone them with stones, that they die, the damsel because she did not cry for help, being in the city, and the man because he has treated shamefully his neighbor's wife. So shall you put away evil from among you. 25. But if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, and seize her by force, and lie with her, then the man only who lay with her. But if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, and seize her by force, and lie with her, then the man only who lay with her shall die. 26. But to the damsel you shall do nothing, because there is in the damsel no sin worthy of death. For as the man rises against his neighbor and slays him, even so is this case. 27. For he found her in the field, and betrothed damsel cried for help, and there was no one to save her. 28. If a man finds a damsel who is a virgin, and is not betrothed, and seizes and lies with her, and they are found, then the man 29. Then the man who lay with her shall give to the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his to wife, because he has humbled her, and he has no right to put her away all his days. 30. A man shall not take his father's wife, nor uncover the skirt of his father's wife. Chapter 23. No adulterer shall enter into the assembly of the Lord. 2. Neither shall a bastard enter into the assembly of the Lord. Even to the 10th generation his descendants shall not enter into the assembly of the Lord. 3. An Ammonite or Moabite shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord. Even to the 10th generation his descendants shall not enter into the assembly of the Lord forever. 229. Various laws. 4. Because they did not meet you with bread and water on the way, and when you came forth out of Egypt, and because they hired against you Balaam the son of Beor from Pethor of Aram Naharaim and Mesopotamia to curse you. 5. Nevertheless the Lord your God would not hearken to Balaam, but the Lord your God turned his curses into blessings to you, because the Lord your God loved you. 6. You shall not seek their peace nor their prosperity all the days of your life forever. 7. You shall not drive away an Edomite, for he is your brother. You shall not drive away an Egyptian, because you are a sojourner in his land. 8. The children that are born to them shall enter into the assembly of the Lord in their 3rd generation. 9. When you go forth into the camp against your enemies, you shall beware of every wicked thing. 10. If there is among you any man who is not clean by reason of an emission at night, then he shall go outside the camp, and he shall not come within the camp. 11. But when the evening comes on, he shall bathe himself with water, and when the sun is down, he shall come into the camp again. 12. You shall have a latrine outside the camp, to which you shall go to relieve yourself. 13. And you shall have a peg upon your weapon, and it shall be, when you relieve yourself, you shall dig with it, and then you shall cover your dung. 14. For the Lord your God walks in the midst of your camp to deliver you and to subdue your enemies before you. Therefore shall your camp be holy, that he may not see anything unclean in your camp and turn away from you. 15. You shall not deliver to his master a servant who has escaped. You shall not deliver to his master a servant who has escaped from his master to you. 16. But he shall dwell with you in the place which he shall choose, in one of your towns, where it pleases him best. You shall not oppress him. 17. There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel. Also there shall be no sodomite of the sons of Israel. 18. You shall not bring the hire of a whore or the price of a dog into the house of the Lord your God for any vow, for both of these are an abomination before the Lord your God. 19. You shall not lend with interest to your brother, interest of money, interest of grain, interest of anything that is lent with interest. 20. To a foreigner you may lend with interest, but to your brother you shall not lend with interest, that the Lord your God may bless you in all that you set your hand to in the land which you go in to possess. 21. When you shall vow a vow to the Lord your God, you shall not be slack to pay it, for the Lord your God will surely require it of you, and it would be a sin in you. 22. But if you are unwilling to make a vow, then it shall be no sin in you. 23. That which is gone out of your lips you shall keep and perform, just as you have vowed a free will offering to the Lord your God, which you have promised with your mouth. 24. When you have come into your neighbor's vineyard, then you may eat grapes you fill at your own pleasure, but you shall not put any into your vessel. 25. When you come into the standing wheat of your neighbor, you may pluck the ears with your hand, but you shall not put a sickle to the neighbor's standing grain.